was on.
It does. Okay.
And people can now see and hear us.
I'm
why?
countdown clock on whether or not we have to get rid of this dog or not. He fucking ate like 3 full chicken bones the other day without that fucking asshole. Waited for me to walk away from the room for more than like 3 minutes. I got in the shower, I came back, and all my fucking barbecue chicken bones had been eaten off the table. I'm like, oh, you dumb motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, table.
If you get a fucking bowel obstruction or perforated intestine, I'm not paying for it to get fixed. You're not that cool of a dog. You're a fine dog, but no, we ain't doing all that.
Yeah, so
I ain't got a job right now, baby. You ain't getting fucking vet bills.
Who's ready to start the show?
It's so nice that you can say that to a pet who's really a member of your family. Just if you're dying, you're dead.
Yeah. Smell you later, pup.
Yeah. Listen, man, I've lost a lot of humans from my life. A dog really doesn't blow my hair back at this point.
Just add it to the pile.
Yeah, just the life I live. What is life if not a just series of lessons learning to let go of things? So I'm gonna go with a dog.
He did choice, if you will.
He did one stupid thing. He's probably dying. Better go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, John. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's. Who's ready to start the show? Who's ready for a countdown?
Man, no, I'm not. So stop asking. So I'm gonna finish one beer and this dog rant before we start the show. And this motherfucker keeps getting on the couch. Johnny, how bad do you have to beat it into your dog to keep it off the couch?
How do you beat your dog, Johnny?
Yeah. Tell everybody.
While we're live.
So we keep a sheet on the couch for the dog.
Nuh-uh.
So she can hop on the couch all she wants. She gets fur on it. We just wash the sheet. Done.
No.
Oh, see, I was confused. I thought the sheet was for fucking.
Why would you take a sheet on the couch, Johnny? That's what the toilet's for.
See, I can't let the dog on the couch.
What's your dog laying in it?
He won't obey the sheet rule. He digs and fucks up the couch. It's the reason we got a new couch. We finally got tired of looking at the fucking dog-ruined couch. That's another reason, if this dog dies soon, I don't know. No big deal. Got a nice clean couch.
One time...
do you still have the old couch? Could you just, keep that for the dog somewhere? And
he actually did that. We kept the cushions. We kept a couple of the back cushions from the couch and put them in his kennel. And so he sleeps on them, but he doesn't show any affection for him or anything. So
I'll never forget one time I came home and I sat down on the couch and Ripley had stashed an entire slice of pizza between cushions of the couch.
That's funny. All I ever find are ass stains and scratch. So no, the dog stays
that could be anybody.
Exactly. It could be the 4-year-old, could be the dog. Who could say?
Could be the 37-year-old.
Listen, I don't like telling stories like this on mic, but I did almost poop the couch the other day.
We've all been there.
What if someone's breaking into your house and putting poop stains on your couch?
God. Don't make me think about getting security cameras in here, Jesse. I'll do it. That would be a pretty great prank. My brother's been coming down from Michigan all this time and just shitting on the couch just a little bit. Oh, he doesn't want to answer the phone because he thinks I'm a Nazi. Well, I'll take a little poop on his couch.
That'll show him.
Oh my God. The front door's been jacked open. There's broken faces and glass everywhere. Somebody shit on her couch. But nothing has been stolen.
They must have it go real bad.
God, the perfect crime.
Tell us if that's during your jury thing, if anyone does that.
What's the motive? We don't know.
I believe the motive is fuck this couch.
We did have at one point the attorney was reading the guy's birthday, and the guy's birthday was April 20th, so he goes 420 85. I'm like, yeah. This attorney's awesome.
David, you're up there in Chicago, man. You fuck with Goose Island beer?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Have you had their tropical beer hug?
No, I have not.
Should I trust a beach vacation beer from Chicago?
Chicago's got beaches.
It is a vague beach.
Yeah, though that's the person you get your K-pop from, right?
I like it though, because fucking, it's a 10% beer and it's a extra tall boy. Like this beer is a tall boy, and then you got the extra
Oh,
whatever in this guy. So
extra
How,
chug.
how many ounces is that thing? Like 20?
19.2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fucked up right at the beginning of the show.
All right.
Down to 19 ounce, 10% beer. Let's get wild, guys.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready for a countdown?
David
Hell
seems
yeah.
upset. David, should we not be getting wild?
No, I was just gonna say. Currently, I'm enjoying the Great Lakes seasonal Irish ale, but before that, I had a Voodoo Ranger, which is a 9.6% beer. So
Oh yeah, I love those. Yeah, fucking New Belgium, baby, tasty stuff. What season is Irish season?
March.
But it's okay. So you're early.
Well, yeah, they put them out early. Like their October beers come out in August.
It's for the Irish, so it's always Irish season. I would think there's not really an Irish season; they're drunks. But
Apparently, there's a big Irish population in Chicago.
Are we live?
what?
Who knew?
Oh,
What?
We've been live for some time. Yes.
I know.
Does whiskey count as beer? That's the beer I'm having tonight.
Yes.
It should.
I'm having milk.
That doesn't count.
You wanna
Now
cut
is
this?
now
It
is
goes
that
good
mi-
with a donut. Okay, I want
Is that
to have
milk?
a donut.
or is that RPG milk?
No, this is like from a cow, and it
Okay.
has all those weird chemicals that we put in it to make it drinkable,
Hell
or
yeah.
whatever. So
It's the best kind, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking oat.
that's not from a cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, you said okay, I get it.
not fan of the oat milk. All right, I think we're pretty much ready.
All right. David, are you ready?
Yes.
Jesse, are you ready?
Yes.
John, are you ready?
The first beer is done. The 10% is being open. I am ready.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Gain That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune, and we're back in the house once again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Howdy.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming, the king of the show, the GTT king. Say hey.
Hey.
Hey, King. Welcome back, everybody. Game That Tune in the house once again. It's episode 323. My goodness, guys, what a show it's going to be. It's the same show that we do every week. It's Game That Tune, where we listen to video game music. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off and have a lot of fun. The winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode and plays some bonus tunes. And our winner last week, it was me. The winner was me. A winner is me. And man, oh man, I made it my New Year's resolution this year to make the themes extra dumb, or in some cases more than one theme in a show. I declared that this would be the year of the free play. Clearly it won't be all free plays, but I wanted to give us themes broad enough that all of us would be able to find something every show. We would no longer have to discuss how we all struggle to find something to fit the theme. So this week's theme, double theme. I was inspired by Jesse's pick last week. He picked Far Cry 5. And, what's a Far Cry game but one where you wander around in first-person wilderness? So this week, we've either got first-person games or we've got games with wilderness or wild areas, something to that effect. It's It's a wide open show, guys, just like the wide open wilderness that you can look around in first person. Do we need to define either of these terms further for anybody? Is there any of the usual, like, well, what about this? Like, Johnny, do you have some fucking strange game that you're going to try and justify tonight?
Well, what I want to know is, does the ocean count as the wilderness? It's like the wilderness, but wet.
I mean, they do call it I forget the term they have for it, but it's
big blue wet thing.
Now,
I mean-
I did say wild areas. So if you made a game taking place at wet and wild, I guess that's not what I would describe the ocean as. The ocean's pretty calm and wet.
I would
Yeah.
like to interject. The official definition of wilderness is an uncultivated, uninhabited, and inhospitable region. So technically the ocean counts as wilderness.
It sure does. Yeah, what is tougher to explore truly than the ocean?
Space.
Space.
Thank you. Yes. I was waiting for somebody to say that, but terrestrially, what's more difficult to explore than the ocean?
volcano.
There's okay, yes. If you chose a wilderness volcano, then yeah, I guess that's valid too. It's just, wow, what an untamed region this volcano is.
Why doesn't anything live here?
It's crazy in here. Has anybody been here?
It's so warm.
My feet have disintegrated.
Ouchies.
Yeah, God, nobody hikes
It's
here.
with all these virgins getting tossed in.
Yeah, I love this place.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. He's fucking that volcano up, man. Tom Hanks against the volcano, that famous movie. But yeah, so it's games in which you play in the first person perspective. So many shooter games are on the table. It's games with wild or wilderness areas. Almost any game taking place in nature, I think, is kind of valid for this one. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. I think it's going to be a fun show. We get to, show our outdoorsy side or show our side that views things with eyes. It's going to be good. So we got 5 fantastic games. We got a great fan request, and Johnny, I just say we jump right into it, man. So let's just head out onto that wild green yonder for game 1.
Game 1.
People still say wild green yonder.
I think it's blue.
All right, so fun fact. This is the only Nintendo Entertainment System game to receive a rating from the Entertainment Software Ratings Board on its original release. All right, who's got some answers?
I don't. Oh wait.
Oh man, do I?
I was gonna respond as if you said guesses, but you said answers, so never mind.
Yeah, I got my finger on the hat trick button. Okay. Waiting on Jesse. So see, David says Mortal Kombat NES. That is incorrect. Jesse says Goomba's Gone Wild, which I wish was real. And then John has the correct answer of Wario's Woods.
Of course.
This is Wario's Woods for the NES. The bizarre puzzle game that I tried playing on the Nintendo Switch Online service recently, and I don't understand how this game works at all. Like, I was very confused.
It's a wild game, guys.
I mean, I don't see what the problem is. It's really straightforward. It's Wario's Woods. You play as Toad, and you like stack little pig monsters and bombs.
Yeah, like
where's the confusion?
It
Right, it's
seems
on
like
Grand Four.
a lot of violence for a game where you play as Toad. Like, I don't like. I
Oh,
get
Toad will shank a motherfucker.
I get Dr. Mario, you're killing viruses with pills or whatever, but like you seem to be bombing little dudes, and I don't fully understand why or what they did. Why are you bombing them? There's a lot of questions I have about this game. And the controls make no goddamn sense. I was very lost. And yeah, this is also, in addition to being the only NES game to get the ESRB rating, it was also the last officially licensed NES game to come out in North America.
Yep.
Released.
That's how I figured that one out. It's like, well, if this was the only game to ever be rated by the ESRB for the NES, then it must be the last NES game, Wario's Woods, of course.
Wasn't it released in like 93 or something?
Oh, later.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Late.
Yeah.
Really late.
The North American release was December 10th, 1994. So almost
God.
95.
Yeah. No, that's it makes you wonder why bother. Why would you still be putting out, and especially, we recently talked on Game That Tune Gems about some releases from January of 1993 and how it's insane and stupid that they were putting out games like Overlord and Break Time, the National Pool Tour for the NES, just crappy games that, they feel like they didn't pour it up to the SNES. Why? It's one thing for companies, third-party companies to be doing that. But why was Nintendo doing that? Like, why was Nintendo putting any effort into releasing an NES game in December of 1994? Like, because I believe there was also an SNES version of this.
There was a Satellaview version of this, so we didn't get it in the US.
Was there a Game Boy version of it?
A what?
A Game Boy version.
No, the only platforms I see listed are NES. Wikipedia says Super NES, but I'm pretty certain it was only Satellaview, unless maybe I'm missing out on. Maybe there was a Super Nintendo one released in the US.
I feel like there was a Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, the better money would have been spent fucking developing it for Game Boy, and then putting it out as a game that goes with the Super Game Boy. Like, rather than fucking bother with the NES version at all. But yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre. Maybe it's just really easy to take Super NES games and make them for NES. But if that were the case, then they would have been doing that a lot more in the time where NES and SNES kind of overlapped each other.
For those 3-4 years.
Where they released a lot of fucking games.
I mean, to be fair, this is 1994, so this is the height of Wario's popularity. So Nintendo really wanted to capitalize on it by releasing a game in which Wario appears for like 45 seconds.
Yeah. So, I mean, David, have you played more of Wario's Woods? Did you understand it?
Oh, I've played it.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't understand it.
Right.
As it's been a hot minute. Because I remember, I think I downloaded this for the Wii Virtual Console.
Okay, me too. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that got duped into doing that. You know, fucking, there's $6 I'm never getting back.
Because I was like, the last NES game, I want to play this, and it turns out I didn't.
And it's starring Wario. It's Wario's Woods. That draws you in. Wario's kind of fun, and they don't make very many games starring Wario.
Well, and it's weird because, like, you play as Toad. Okay, weird choice, at least for a game called Wario's Woods.
Woods.
And as you're like playing the puzzle in the section of a tree, there's a little profile picture that's Birdo. And then like as you mess up, it turns to Wario and it gets harder. So I was like, wait a minute, like why is Wario even in this game? Like what?
Wario's only there as a specter of failure?
Basically, yeah.
Like, everything's going great if you see Birdo. If you start failing, then Wario shows up and fucks everything up.
I mean, I know we were talking about like, why didn't they put this on Game Boy or Super Nintendo or whatever, but I feel like this definitely seems like the last NES game Nintendo put out. So they're like, we need to get one more game out. Let's make a quick puzzle game. Who's going to be in it? Like, oh, like Mario, Peach, and Yoshi? No.
What if we did a Yoshi?
Birdo, Wario, and Toad. Good.
Yeah, we already did Yoshi and Yoshi's Cookies. So we probably should go with one of these other guys that we introduced recently. Yeah. It's Wario's Woods. It's not a Kirby game that takes place inside of a large tree where you rearrange things. No, it's Wario's goddamn woods. I mean, And yes, Johnny, so there were official SNES and NES releases of it. The Satellaview thing also was something that came later.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely bizarre.
I do
and
like
also bizarre that this is your choice, Johnny, because I mean, I know that we said wild areas, but like, where are the titular woods? This game really should be called Wario's fucking trunk. Like,
oh, that's a whole different game.
Yeah, exactly. Wario's hollowed out tree.
Wario's fat dumper.
Big Dumpy starring Wario. I mean, I'd be in favor of that.
I'm looking at the list of.
I mean, seriously, if the whole game took place inside Wario's ass, as opposed to a hollowed out tree with Toad inside of it, I'd be in favor of it. It would make as much sense as whatever this is. I mean, like, I simply don't understand it. Why invoke Wario? Why invoke the woods? I mean, like, the screenshots, these don't scream wilderness to me. They scream Mario World. There's the hills with little eyes on them in the background, and you're just inside of a tree. It's, I don't know. Not all that wild.
I do appreciate that, like, Wario first appeared in what, 92? In 6 Golden Coins. So this game was like very new in Wario's career, and already they were establishing Wario and bombs together because like that's a key part of his character. He was in that weird Bomberman spinoff with Wario. Like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like they've lost the bombs over time, and kind of it's gone more towards his ass.
Which is a bomb.
They just kind of merged the two.
Yeah.
Over time. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a series of unusual and confusing choices. I'm confounded by this game.
And I'm thinking about too, like, how there was more red tape on this game than previous NES games because they had to get an ESRB rating. They had to go through that process. like this took some effort to put out.
Now, do you think it's possible that they were developing this game to take place strictly inside of Wario's Giant Dumper, and the ESRB came into existence, and Nintendo's like, "Well, fuck, we got to change this. Like, you can't make a game that takes place inside of an anus. This is crazy that we even thought we could."
I mean,
happened?
you won't get the kids to adults rating if you do that.
Right, exactly. The classic KA. It's good for kids to adults.
Sorry, Jesse, what was that?
Oh, it's too late.
Okay.
Um,
I do like to imagine Shiggy like at the headquarters, like, God damn it! If we had just released this the year before, it would have been fine. Now we got to retool the whole thing.
Mortal Kombat fucking this whole thing up. I'm telling you, this character, he's a nasty, nasty boy, and I want nasty games. Shiggy missed the whole nasty train thanks to the ESRB in Mortal Kombat. He was primed and ready to go.
They had a whole marketing campaign laid out, a multi-year, multi-console idea of Nasty Boy Wario.
Right.
See, that was going to be the ads for it. Like, you remember those old ads for Wario Land where like Wario would come and try to hypnotize you to hate Mario? It was the same ad, except his head was coming out of his ass.
Can you imagine like the 90s comic book and magazine ads we would have gotten if they were able to commit to the nasty fucking Wario path? Like, oh God. It just would have been absurd and disgusting. I would have loved it. It was like, they were catching the tail end of Garbage Pail Kid mania, and they were coming in with Wario, the worst Garbage Pail Kid, and just oh man, they could have had something. Nintendo missed their fucking Attitude Era. It would have been gross. It would have been fantastic, but instead, we got a good, clean cut company that makes friendly games that don't get particularly nasty. They wouldn't get nasty for years after this. It set them back in the nastiness.
Yeah, that ESRB really fucked up their plans, man.
Mm-hmm. As it did for many developers. We were all ready for the nasty 90s, and the ESRB fucking they ruined the whole thing, man. They blew it. But
Nasty 90s.
God, I mean, that was what the people don't know this, but early on, the N in 64 stood for nasty. 64 times nastier than the previous system. But anyway, so no, that's sorry, Johnny. I don't think you need to get game over because the game takes place in the woods, but also, I mean, God damn it, man. So you chose this, I assume, and then you pulled up your Switch and played it.
Yes.
Okay, so you for once Johnny's played the game.
Yeah. I played this for about
less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, about 10 minutes before I just got befuddled and confused and just switched to GoldenEye.
That's what happened to me when I bought it on the Wii Virtual Console 15 fucking years ago or whatever. Like, it's simply not fun. It's confounding and shitty puzzle game, and not enough Wario. Could be nastier. So you're right to not play it. But Nintendo, they would be right to never try to give this to people again. Like, nobody asks. Nobody wants it.
And yet here they are putting it out for Switch.
As nasty as they want to be.
Game 2.
All right, guys. So, in this game, sorry. In this game, if the player attempts to use a powerful weapon on the final boss, it will be removed from the player's inventory and cause the final boss to mockingly laugh at the player and unleash their most damaging attack. In the remastered version of the game, these powerful weapons simply miss the boss or do very little damage. All right, guys. Who is feeling great?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. Also good. Answers are popping up. Johnny says Wario's Woods. I'm assuming you mean the SNES version. Sadly incorrect. Jesse says Steve Irwin 64. He's on the right track. He's in the wild department. David says merely Turok. Yeah, I'll give David a point on that. It's Turok Dinosaur Hunter for the N64. Mm-hmm. David, you want to give him your best Turok? Give him an I am Turok.
Considering that Turok is an indigenous person, no, I would not like to do an imitation of Turok.
Ooh, no, I don't think that really informs their personality or their call in the game particularly heavily. But that's fine, David. Well played. You juked your way out of that one. You've unmired yourself in that controversy before it even got you. So then you probably didn't play Turok Dinosaur Hunter because you didn't want to imitate an indigenous person, right?
Play Turok 2 had the cerebral bore, right?
It sure did, baby.
I played Turok 2. I don't
Really?
think I played Turok 1.
No, Turok 1 didn't have multiplayer, so we didn't play it as much as Turok 2.
Then that would be why.
Yep, exactly. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, it's a fine game. More of a wild game than its sequels. The sequels kind of go off in some crazy alien directions. This one, you got to start somewhere. This game, it's pretty fun, man. It's severely dated, obviously. Especially
not an N64 game.
As we're all relearning this week with GoldenEye, turns out some of these N64 shooters maybe don't hold up as well as we once thought they did. It's pretty fun. I like the vibe of the game. I like the setting. I like that it's you're a guy and you're walking around in first person fighting dinosaurs. I honestly kind of forgot that they did like a remastered version of it. I would kind of like to pick that up. Like, I think this game would work better, not only on a more modern system, but with a more, I don't know, like a modern knowledge of what it takes to play these games. Like, I was reading a little bit on like Turok's, wikis and stuff, getting ready for the show, kind of refreshing my memory. And one of the things they mentioned is that, this is kind of a Doom-inspired game. And I was like, okay, so it's first person. It's like, no, the game really wants you to like kind of stay in motion constantly and don't stop to fucking aim or do anything. I'm like, now hold on, man. We're playing a Nintendo 64 first-person shooter. You can't really you can't be constantly moving. Like, there's simply no way to do that effectively, which might explain why this game wasn't particularly great on the Nintendo 64, but would be pretty good on a remastered thing. Like, the moving and looking with twin sticks would really, really help this game out a lot. Because it's a great like I said, setting and kind of, I don't want to say great story. It's not a fantastic story. It's a guy fighting dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are being turned from dinosaurs into bionosaurs by some external force that's given cybernetic enhancements to dinosaurs. It's it's not a fantastic story, but it lends itself to some fucking cool shooting action.
John, you just described a best screenplay winner minimum, if not best picture.
Was I just describing Avatar: The Way of Water? No, I think it's Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
A great story.
Yeah, it's a great, it's good bones of a story, dinosaur bones. But it's like it would take a good hand to really flesh this out into anything resembling a good story. But just being plopped down in the jungle with a fucking knife and a bow and arrow, and then you fucking start encountering dinosaurs. That's fucking dope. That's why they got you. It's why they got you to rent this shit back in the day. It's like, all right, yeah, this guy hunts dinosaurs. Sweet. It didn't say on the fucking cover like Turok, Bionosaur Hunter, or fucking Turok, alien rub up against her. It's fucking. Yeah, it starts you out with dinosaurs, and then it reveals itself over the course of the game to be something more and something crazier. David, did you ever actually play Turok Dinosaur Hunter? You're kind of our dino guy around here.
I'm pretty sure I said I played the second one, but didn't play the first one.
So, okay. But so the dinosaurs weren't enough to lure you into this world. Are you aware of, the
dinosaurs? Yes, I am.
Dinosaurs in general. Okay, so give me a quick rundown on the features of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So the Tyrannosaurus Rex is not the largest, but one of the most famous land carnivores of all time. They would get to, I think about like 18 feet in length. They would usually weigh like 10.5 to 2 tons. It's debatable if they were scavengers or predators. I think the current consensus is that they did a little bit of both.
Sure.
But given the fact that they have very strong muscular neck, not super strong muscular arms, so they were known to like smash into things as an attack. And obviously, their gigantic jaws would grip things to tear flesh apart or just snap necks, basically.
Right. Now, all that, what if on top of all that you just said, there was like an evil external force that gave a Tyrannosaurus Rex a laser eye like Kano from Mortal Kombat and the ability to breathe fire and long arms with sharp claws on the end?
I believe that external force would be called Awesome.
Yeah, the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Why are we trying to kill this guy? He's clearly doing great things for these dinosaurs.
John, again, I'm pretty sure you're just describing the plot of one of the Jurassic World movies.
Right. I fully am at this point. Like, he turned it into the I-Rex from Jurassic World. Oh no. But yeah, so yeah, the boss or the final boss of the game is this guy called the Campaigner, who is bionically or cybernetically enhancing these dinosaurs, and so you're having to fight fucking cybernetically enhanced dinosaurs, which is pretty fucking dope. And yeah, his pet T-Rex, Thunder, I believe is his name, is a fucking T-Rex with a Kano face, and he breathes fire, and he has long arms with long claws. I mean, like, that sounds like the most badass motherfucker ever. Like, it's tough killing these things, not only because the game's hard to play, but because it's like, well, that's the coolest motherfucker ever. Like, I don't want to kill this poor thing. Like, he's an abomination, but like a sick ass abomination.
Let's be friends.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where's the option in this game rather than kill it? Like, where's the tranquilizer option where I can like tame these creatures and befriend them? It needs kind of a non-violent mode. Because, like, I know he's a dinosaur hunter, but like, there's got to be an animal lover in there in Turok, like, is he really fighting the animals? Is he fighting the dinosaurs, or is he fighting back against the Campaigner for fucking, his perversion of the natural world? I would argue that his real beef is with the Campaigner, not so much with the dinosaurs. But
I mean, I would say Turok is fighting the dinosaurs, but only in the sense of to survive. Like, he doesn't have a personal grudge against the dinosaurs, but they're going to kill him, so he's kind of got to fight back.
See, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I guess the more appropriate title, if you want to make Turok a friend of the dinosaurs, would be like Turok Dinosaur Survivor, less than Dinosaur Hunter. Dinosaur Hunter implies, well, actually, no, Jesse, your answer kind of speaks to this. You said Steve Irwin 64. They called him the Crocodile Hunter. You never really saw him fucking up any crocodiles on that show. He was kind of a friend of nature.
No, he would fuck with them. Like,
right.
It was more of a
shit, but he wouldn't like fucking kill them.
No, he would just, look. He was more. I mean, if anyone was getting killed, it was going to be him. Right. And like, he was, the crocodiles were not in any danger at all. Like. So he was not like, he was hunting them to show people like, hey, look, there's a crocodile over there. I'm going to go grab its tail. Isn't that funny, guys?
I guess there's more to hunting than merely finding something and killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe Steve Irwin should have done a little bit more of the latter and survived. Maybe if he had been a little bit more Turok, a little less Steve Irwin, maybe we'd still have him.
Well, like, I don't think the problem was that he was a crocodile hunter. I think the problem was that he tried to apply crocodile hunting to a stingray. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
He's not Steve Irwin's stingray toucher. He's the crocodile hunter. He never should have gotten involved with those stingrays.
That would have been way smoother for him.
Hey, I mean, man, I would like to see a new Turok in which he's having to fuck with stingrays the whole time.
And occasionally,
it would kind of be like the Way of Water. It would be like Avatar: The Way of Water. Fucking Turok goes to the ocean and just has to fuck with big stingrays that are getting cybernetic enhancements. But so, Johnny, you're the marine biologist around here. What's the best way to cybernetically enhance a stingray?
I think the best way to cybernetically enhance a stingray is to So stingrays famously don't have skeletons. So if you gave it a cybernetic skeleton,
Well,
it
Stingray
would,
with body armor.
yeah, like basically give it like an exoskeleton of flexible body armor.
Okay, wait, no, hold on, Johnny. What about an endoskeleton made out of like adamantium? What if the Stingray plus Wolverine?
Oh, okay, yeah, Wolverine. Or
I'm so mad at both of you. Like, how do you cybernetically enhance a Stingray? You give it jets and homing missiles. Did we learn nothing from Mega Man X4?
Well, see, that's the thing. Johnny was thinking more of like just a natural Stingray, not so much a robot built to resemble a Stingray. And he was kind of thinking just in the broad terms of things. But yes, no, the answer, like, again, does a T-Rex need a Kano face and fucking the ability to breathe fire? No.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's dope that it gets it. So yeah, no, you got to go with the coolest thing. So a skeleton, wow, very good for something for a Stingray, Johnny. No, you gotta dream a little bit bigger, darling. You gotta fucking give that thing some homing missiles and like
bionic legs,
stilts.
Yes, oh man. Yeah. Some sort of high-powered vacuum.
It just comes up out of the water.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is that a Stingray on stilts?
A tail that it can fire, and then like a homing tail. Like what if a Stingray's tail was like Yondu's arrow from Guardians of the Galaxy, where you could control it via whistling?
Nah, that's cool and all, but I'm still on the stilts, man. The stilts are where it's at.
No, the stilts is it.
You can't.
That's the best idea to enhance the Stingray.
Still
get it up to the surface.
Someone's gone too far with science.
That thing would fuck Turok up, man. You would never know. You would never see this thing coming.
That's what Steve Irwin was trying to warn us about.
Yeah. I saw it. It was trying to stand on several legs.
Still, what? Oh, crikey! Tell the world about the stilts.
The Stingrays destroyed the footage of themselves test driving those stilts.
I just imagine the Stingray gets a career at your local Ren Fair as like one of those people walking on stilts.
Oh my god!
Just lives a very mundane life.
Not could you imagine this guy at a
charismatic? Oh,
could you imagine that Stingray at a 4th of July parade dressed up like Uncle Sam with the giant stilt legs?
Yes.
Uncle Sam smells like the ocean.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he sucked me off when I wasn't even paying attention, man. I love this guy.
Oh my god, fucking Taylor in the chat. Steve washes up on the beach with a stilt through his chest.
Oh, so we are going to do that bit.
It wasn't even a Stingray sting. He just got stabbed with a stilt.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yep. Yeah. No. Rest in peace, Steve Irwin.
He was incredible.
Should have killed that Stingray back.
With the cerebral bore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Should have drilled into that Stingray's head for that sweet brain juice. But yeah, Turok Dinosaur Hunter is cool. You use cool weapons to blow up dinosaurs. And if you try to use those big weapons on the final boss, it's kind of fucked up. It doesn't work. Like, it's kind of fucked up. That's the only thing I want to address about the actual game. You get to the final boss, which is hard enough because this is a Nintendo 64 first-person shooter game. And then it's like, oh, you want to use the nuclear fusion gun on him? And you like shoot him with it, and it misses, and he laughs at you and takes it away from you. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, who would ever think that would be the way this game would go? Like,
I love shit like that. Oh, I'm all in.
Up, man. Like, it just means you're just gonna get so many game overs on that final boss and have to like fucking restart or reload, and then it's like, all right, fine. I won't use the nuclear fusion gun. I'll use the 4-way rocket launcher, the quad rocket launcher, and no, that does the same thing. Like. So what the fuck are you supposed to fight the final boss with? A goddamn bow and arrow, a hunting knife?
Hell yeah.
Like it's fucked up. It's a giant cyborg that's turning dinosaurs into robots. You have to shoot them with a bow and arrow? Like, God, you'd have to be some kind of fucking crazy ass dinosaur hunter to try and pull some shit like that. But yeah, no, the game it's cool. It's first person and it's jungle wilderness type shit. So just saying, sometimes, guys, when your boy comes up with a double theme, He chooses a game that satisfies both parts of that theme. So, yeah, we're not going to top Stingray on stilts, though, guys. That's terrifying, terrifying thing to imagine.
Calculating computer. Game 3.
There we go.
All right, gentlemen, put on your thinking caps. This is the 4th platformer to feature this character, the 3rd game in this series, and the 2nd game to use this title structure. All right, gentlemen. Who has their guesses and or answers?
Me.
Yes.
All right, then let's see them. Also, I'd like to take this moment to say this was not planned. So, Jesse says Super Jane Goodall, which is a game I wish existed. John says Stingray Circus starring Wario. Sadly incorrect. John Regan has the correct answer. This is Wario Land 2.
What?
So this is the fourth platformer to feature Wario. Of course, him appearing in Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins first, before he was a playable character. This is the third game in the Wario Land series, and this is the second game to be called Wario Land, because the first game was Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land.
And then
Cool.
don't forget the Virtual Boy. So Virtual Boy was Wario Land.
And then this was Wario Land 2.
So is this a sequel to the Virtual Boy game or the Super Mario Land 3 game?
You know, Johnny, I'm glad that you asked that, because it's kind of neither. This is the first Wario Land game that kind of established the Wario Land formula. Because Virtual Boy Wario Land and Mario Land 3 were sort of basic platform games where you're Wario, so you have a shoulder charge and you unlock like different helmets that give you abilities like shooting fire and shit like that. But this was the first time where the levels became more like puzzle themed, and it was less about just getting to the end and more about figuring out how to get through areas. This was the first game where Wario could not die. You could lose coins, but if you got hit by an enemy, it would just turn you into a different form of Wario. So like if a fire-breathing enemy hit you, you would turn into Fire Wario, or if you got smashed, you would turn into Flat Wario and could slip under narrow crevices and whatnot to explore new areas. So it became more of like a puzzle platformer where you're just kind of exploring and figuring out how to get to different areas. Of all the different transformations, my favorite is probably Woozy Mario. There are little Woozy Wario.
Thank you.
So there are little penguin enemies that throw bowling balls, and if they hit you, they kind of stun you and make you all like, oh. You breathe little bouts of toxic gas, and you can only be cured of it if you land in water. So in the original Japanese version, they threw pints of beer, and it was Drunk Wario.
Dope.
Nice.
But sadly, they got rid of it for America. But yeah, Drunk Wario is amazing.
David, can you do that recreation of what Wario is like again after he gets hit? I love it.
I mean, seriously, like if you look at the sprites, he like staggers back and forth and like just kind of like flails his arms. It's great.
What's funny about that is, as drunk as I've gotten, I've never like flailed my arms around because I was so drunk.
Johnny, please, not that you can remember. I've seen very, very drunk Johnny before. And you are not aware of what you do.
So can I take a quick aside to tell a personal story?
Oh, I guess.
So it was during Johnny's bachelor party. After everybody got completely smashed, we went back to the house. There was like an Airbnb that we had rented everything. I woke up at like 6 o'clock the next morning, and the house was mostly empty. And I found Johnny's sister, Michelle. I was like, Michelle, where is everybody? She said, well, everybody went home. I said, how?
Yeah, it was impressive. You can walk a lot of places in St. Augustine. But yeah, Johnny, for Johnny's bachelor party, did kind of wobble his way straight into bed, and then David wobbled into the same bed. So it was a sweet night.
Which is weird because Johnny wound up on the couch in his underwear.
Right. So that really just leads me to wonder, what it is about you that makes you undesirable to share a bed with. If Johnny passed out in a bed and then you joined him in a bed and then he ended up almost naked on the couch instead.
Oh
What
no,
did you
guys. So I have this weird awareness of when I'm in bed and too drunk that I'm like, I gotta get out of this bed because I'm gonna make this miserable for the other person in here, and I will go seek somewhere
Sweat,
else.
fuck, and just get nasty with it.
I thought because we were talking about the
Wario syndrome, Johnny.
we were talking about the flailing limbs when you guys found me on the couch. I wasn't just like laying on the couch like a normal person. I had like one leg and one arm over the back of the couch, like I was like a starfish on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are few things in my life that I regret. One of them is breaking the heart of my high school girlfriend, and one of them is not taking a picture of you like draped over the back of that couch. Because I remember stumbling out of the bedroom, looking up, seeing that, and like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
So yeah, I guess it all comes full circle. I do actually feel my arms around when I'm very drunk.
Yeah,
So-
you do. Yeah. I'll share some pictures in the Discord of you and I drunk together.
And
It'll
while
be-
you're sharing those pictures, we can continue talking about Wario Land 2.
God,
This
what
is-
are the odds that you and Johnny both chose a Wario game tonight? What the fuck's going on right now?
You know, as God is my witness, this was not planned, but I started thinking about games with wilderness, and the third area is the Maze Woods, where you're in the middle of like a lost woods trying to explore like amongst all these trees and wilderness areas. And I was like, yeah, we should talk more Wario Land, because Wario Land's a great series, and I enjoy WarioWare, but I'm sad we're not getting more Wario Land games.
Yeah, no, I'm sad about that too. Because, was the last Wario Land game, was it Shake It?
It was.
God, man, that game's great. And
It is.
it established an unsustainable level of greatness for the series. Like, so many greatly animated fucking like Wario sprites. Obviously, that game was a labor of love. But it's so good and so fun and so like detailed and awesomely animated that I could see why they just don't go back and do it again. But man, they gotta bring Wario Land back in some way.
They should. And especially because I love Shake It, but it didn't really have the weird transformations that you would get. Like, there was no zombie Wario. There was no I'm trying to think of more. I'm gonna go back to smashed flat Wario.
There's stung by a bee Wario where he puffs up and becomes light and you can float like a balloon.
Yeah. There should be more shit like that.
Yeah. Wario really is the strangest cartoon character of a fucking Mario character.
He is. He's a fun character too.
Yeah. Yeah, he should get more games. I mean, besides the Wario Land games, when's the last fucking Wario game? Was it a Wii U game? Did they come out with a Game & Watch? Or was Game and Wario Wii U? Have they come out with a WarioWare-ish game since then?
They have.
Okay.
There's a WarioWare on Switch. I'm trying to think of the name of it. But the interesting thing about that is you play as the characters who have been sucked into the game. So it's not just, push A to pick nose. You're playing as Wario and Mona and whatnot, in the micro game trying to do the thing. It's actually pretty fun, but it did kind of fly under the radar. And again, it was a WarioWare game on Switch, whereas the last Wario Land game was back in 2008. We need more Wario Land.
We do. Because, I kind of like that it's a puzzle platforming game in which you can't die and you just kind of got to figure your way through it. And it's about, properly traversing the levels and making your way out, things like that. They really tried a lot of unique mechanics in the Wario Land games that I would like to see either re-implemented into Mario levels or, make some fucking new Wario Land games.
Well, it's one of the cool things where it's this is a Mario game. You know what you have to do. this is a Wario game. We're gonna throw some weird shit at you.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not really clear on what you have to do. It's good. It's real good.
Game
Now,
4.
Oh, I thought that was our transition.
I mean, David, was it our transition?
I mean, I don't really have anything to say other than Wario Land 2 is great. The Game Boy Color version of it is available on the 3DS eShop. Download it in the next couple days before you're never able to download it again.
Right.
From the 3DS eShop.
David, how would this game play in first person? Do you think a Wario Land game would work in first person?
I think a first-person Wario game would be really cool because I'm imagining, obviously, Wario has to have some kind of like grenade or bomb launcher as a weapon, but then you can also just like shoulder charge, so you have like a quick like push forward attack, and that'd be interesting in first person.
See, it'd be kind of crazy to use his grenade or bomb launching attack in first person because you have to assume that it's his ass. And so do you get to aim the ass, or do you have to like kind of face away from your target in first person mode in order to aim the grenade or bomb? That would be really the question playing a first person Wario game.
See, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's a first person game, but left and right are reversed because your point of view is a mirror that you have in front of you to aim your ass.
True. Okay. Yeah.
You're overcomplicating it, guys. You just play as the ass.
Yeah, play in ass mode rather than seeing through Wario's eyes. You look through his ass the entire time. It's it's one way to play it, man. It's challenging, but you can get through it. His ass.
Game 4.
There's the transition.
All right. So this game was often described as, in one of its first iterations of the game, it was often referred to as Fruit Ninja in Space.
Space!
There you go. And as the development process, the team was inspired by the beach of Alang in India, where hundreds of workers were working on dismantling abandoned cargo ships. So they went another direction with their game. All right. Let's see some answers.
I'm so confident.
Do.
I know my answer is right, so I'm gonna wait. Okay.
Oh, John, God, you took that long to draw.
I was writing an actual answer. And then I
It
was
looks like a
fuck
fucking
this.
bone or something. Okay, John with a horrible medical condition.
Listen. This is streets ahead of any penis John Regan's ever drawn, man. I don't want to hear it.
David has drawn what appears to be a stingray on stilts, which will count for this round. And Johnny has the correct answer: hard space shipbreaker. I guess it looks like it hasn't been washed. I don't know.
Who washes their penis?
Me.
You know what?
I do every day.
I don't want more information. I don't want anything else to add out of the show.
I actually have kind of an OCD, and I wash my penis too much. It's actually a real problem.
Oh yeah,
It's starting to
Rubbing off
burn.
all that dead skin.
Yeah,
Acid smooth on this penis.
just like how the ladies like it, soft and smooth.
Yeah, dipped in acetone and perfectly glossy.
I don't know that the ladies like it soft, but you do you.
So I'm sorry, Jesse. What game is this? I literally missed you saying what this is.
It's called Hard Space Shipbreaker. And it's a pretty neat game. It's a you are you've signed up for this weird work program, and so they like clone your DNA and stuff that way, because the job is very dangerous. If you die during your job, they can just clone you and be like, "Okay, you're back." Um, but unfortunately, all that costs a lot of money, so you have to pay back the debt while you're working. And so basically your job, yeah, basically your job is you dismantle like derelict starships, and so like you like use like different like cutting tools, and like it's all like, you know, zero G, so like you have to move around with your little thrusters in your suit. Um and like certain parts of the ship you'll want to send to like the furnace for, you know, meltdown. Then there's like a section for processing, like for like your, you know, more profitable materials. And then like, you know, say the ship has like some cool like chairs or like an interesting like flight system or something, you pull that out and put it into like the salvage section. And so you're making money as you're you know, salvaging the ship. And like you know, you got to be careful because sometimes there'll be like exposed like leaks or something, and you know your torch might catch something on fire. Or sometimes just, you know, momentum in space. You can like if you have like a cool tether thing that you can use to like move the stuff around in space into the right places. But you can also use it to like grab onto stuff that's kind of far away and reel yourself in. But you can like pick up a lot of speed, and like the physics in space are real silly. And if you're not careful, you can just smash into the side of something, and like there'll be like a big old crack down your the front of your space helmet. Oxygen starts leaking, and I almost died one time, and I got to the little there's a little thing where you can refill your oxygen and stuff. So I was so close to it, I hit the button, and it was like, oh, now you can buy oxygen and repair your suit. And I'm like, hooray! I almost died. And it's a pretty neat game. It's like I don't know. There's been like a bunch of games that where you like work and do like jobs and stuff, but this one's like in space, which also space is like the ultimate wilderness, you know.
Yes.
It is.
And it's first person. And
Yeah.
it's a pretty neat little game. It's very zen like once you get like going, and you're like, okay, I know this piece goes here. I got to cut these things to make sure this thing floats off to here, and I don't want to damage this thing because if I damage it, I can't sell it for as much money. It's a like I said, it's pretty neat, very zen like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's kind of cool because I mean, like, unless the game is in some way like procedurally generated, then I mean, what is like salvaging a giant ship if not solving a giant puzzle?
Yeah,
Like,
the
it's
ships
a puzzle
are kind of
game, but-
procedurally, yeah.
Oh wait, are they?
Just like not like a lot, but like certain inner like things inside them. Like maybe there'll be more like a more valuable bench or something, or
Oh, okay.
like some kind of weird thing, or
Because I was thinking, like, you know, these just essentially would be elaborate puzzles. Like, okay,
Yeah.
here's a puzzle for you to solve. Here's a derelict ship that contains these things and can be dissected and fucking split up and salvaged in certain ways, and you want to maximize your profit. You know, what is that if not just a fucking high score puzzle game? That sounds pretty fucking cool.
pretty much, yeah.
You know, played in a fucking first person setting with, you know, wacky space grapple physics. Like, sounds pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I am alarmed by the idea that you can, like, you know, move too fast and like the physics get wonky and, you know, cause you to almost die. Like, I feel like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like that you know, that's one of the things in games that should be less tethered to reality. Like I want to fucking go wild and fly all over the place and do careless shit. I don't really want to have to think about like fall damage is one thing, but like if I'm in space and I accidentally bop into something a little bit too hard and it cracks my fucking view and it's causing me to die, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. Like I kind of want to just be able to fly all over the place with reckless abandon.
I thought you were gonna say fall damage is one thing, but if I fall in space, I'm just falling forever. Like, how am I gonna get fall damage?
It depends on which way you're falling. Well, who knows if you'll ever make contact with something and receive all that fall damage?
You could definitely get sucked into the furnace. So
that's not good.
Yeah, I haven't. I've been close, and when it does, like your like visor like starts fogging up and stuff, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Ultimate fall damage, being sucked into a sun or a furnace of some kind. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, if I'm kind of moving all over the place and experiencing the freedom of like fun outer space movement, and I accidentally fucking break my face mask and start dying, I'm gonna be a little bit pissed.
Well, they
I like to
your
just go in, balls out, balls to the wall.
Can clone you.
Yeah, but see, then that increases your debt, and you just have to be playing for longer. Like, so I mean. That's another factor to it. Like if you're just going around all willy-nilly killing yourself and then being recloned, like does this game have like a definitive ending? And does it get to the point where it's like, all right, well, you salvage all the derelict spaceships, but you use like 30 bodies to do it. You're never gonna fucking work off this debt. Like, is it is there a game over scenario in which it's like, all right, you borrowed too many bodies, like God, we use so many cloning resources on you dipshit space salvage man.
Well, every morning you have to pay like a percentage of what you owe.
Okay.
And so I haven't run out of money yet as far as like, so I don't know if they're like, okay, well, you're not making enough money, so we're just going to shut your program down or whatever. But yeah, just...
God, David, just imagine an Animal Crossing game in which Tom Nook comes to you every day and asks you for a little bit more money to continue playing the game. And it's like, yeah, you didn't catch enough fish or like do enough bugs yesterday. Oh, you got stuck in a pitfall. Like, you haven't completed the art wing of the museum yet. What's your problem?
On the one hand, I feel like I would hate that. But on the other hand, I feel like it would make me catch more fish.
Yeah. Like, frankly, Animal Crossing could use these steaks.
I'm just
like Tom Nook coming after me. It's like, you only caught 10 fish yesterday. What's your problem? Like, half of me wants to be like, fuck this, I'm not playing it. And then the other half's like, you're right. Let me catch like 15.
Right. Yeah, I cloned you that sexy wolf. You're going to need to catch some more fish to make up for that.
I'm just imagining.
I'm sorry, which wolf?
The sexy one.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys all seen The Prestige, or care if I spoil the ending of The Prestige?
Whoa! What are you presuming to do here, man? Are you gonna?
What does this have to do with taking apart derelict spacecraft?
Reveal the nature of Tesla's machine.
So I mean, that's if you guys are okay with it,
I would say no, because I would like Jesse to see the movie.
Wait. Jesse hasn't seen The Prestige.
I haven't seen it. No.
All right, shit. Then strike everything I just said from the record. We can cut all that. It
doesn't have anything to do with clone slugs in space. No, at all.
What? No, I guess no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's a movie about rival magicians. Really, I was more than anything. I didn't realize Jesse hadn't seen it. I was really interested to see how Johnny could possibly connect it to this game. But,
I see how he could, but it's a good movie, and maybe we should do a movie night so Jesse can experience it.
Yeah, tonight.
And then at the
Johnny,
end, I can compare it.
Turn on The Prestige right now.
Game 5.
It's time for The Prestige.
Spoilers, that is not how that movie begins.
It really should lead off with Hugh Jackman just coming on stage going, "It's time!" Oh, man. more movies really should start like that.
With Hugh Jackman
Yeah, Hugh Jackman coming
in
on.
every movie. It's time.
It's time for Avatar: The Way of Water, guys.
God, could you imagine if the first MCU X-Men movie is just Hugh Jackman walking out with the claws? It's time.
Yeah. Listen, we're really sorry. I'm not doing this anymore, but it is time. We finally have something. Jesus. Yeah. No, Jesse, this game sounds cool, man. I have literally never heard of this game. This is some wild ass Game Pass ass shit.
Yeah, I've heard it talked about on some podcasts and stuff, but it never really. It sounded interesting, but then you said first person games, and I was like, hey, this game's first person. Maybe I should check this out. And
What's the leeway within the game for just kind of cruising around, walking around, checking out the spaceship? Like,
it's not like bad. Like when I told you,
obviously, at some point you got to get to work.
Yeah. Like the tutorial is really good. Doesn't give you any of the HUD stuff at first. The dude's just fly around in space, get your bearings and stuff. But then once you figured it out, you have to deal with like oxygen and stuff. But other than that, like unless, like I said, I tethered myself from pretty far away and reeled myself in pretty quickly. So like I earned the the damage I got is what I'm saying. Like if you're just zooming around like normally, you're not gonna hurt yourself,
Cool.
So like if you act like you would act in space, probably you should be okay.
See, that's the thing, though. I mean, like you mentioned, like, maybe you find some like rare furniture and something. I kind of would like a game in which you're simply walking around like derelict spaceships, not with any kind of timing or agenda. Like, I would like to walk around and just check out, like, oh man, what happened here? This place is nice. Shame this spaceship went out of business,
Yeah.
but I do like that desk. That's pretty cool. Like, just really soaking up the details of like an abandoned spaceship. Sounds like a pretty cool game. You can maybe, if you want to add a story element,
Sounds
to
like
it,
Void Bastards.
add in things like the Fallout computers where you can kind of catch little lore bits, or like a Metroid Prime thing where you scan things and learn what went on. But like, honestly, I don't really want to know what's going on. If you just give me a nice looking spaceship to kind of wander around and be like, oh man, this place is kind of sweet. Yeah, I'd be into that. And then eventually you can start, salvaging it and accomplishing something for the game. But like, frankly, the out of this world setting,
So you want No Man's Sky?
Maybe I do, but like, I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't know about the procedural generation. I want like, okay, here's a nice ship that we designed for you to look around. Like, oh, this is so nice.
It sounds like you want some kind of video game that takes place at like a spaceship museum where you're just touring a museum.
Do you just
I
want
want a virtual tour of
a VR program?
That's all I want, guys. Like, this place is nice. They really do. Look at the attention to detail on these table legs. This is grand.
Yeah,
what a nice spaceship this is.
Little placards, saying like back in the 23rd century, like space explorers used to
VR game that puts me on, an approximation of a nice spaceship. Does
like
something heinous have to have happened there? No.
Like, a lot of museums and stuff now have the tours done with the 3DS. So like
I've seen that in a lot of places, or not a lot of places, but I've seen examples of that in like
the
just,
Louvre
like,
and stuff.
The Louvre, which is fucking crazy. Like, yeah, here's your virtual tour. It's a fucking 3DS. Like, excuse me?
I'm sorry. Can we step back a brief moment? Did you say the Lorf?
I said the Louvre. What did you say?
I don't think that's how you say it, John.
How do you say it? I've never been to the fucking museum.
I think it's
I
just
know
pronounced the Louvre.
definitively that's not how you say it. It's Louvre.
There's a fucking R in it.
Yeah, French does the
It's
whole
French.
thing. French has tons of extra letters they just straight up don't use.
All right. Excuse the fuck out of me, guys. Sorry, you worldly motherfuckers know exactly how to pronounce words in French. I know where the fuck you guys are from. Don't get all hoity-toity on me, you mustache twirling, monocle having ass motherfuckers.
I used to spend for years. I thought because of how French just drops random letters, I thought it was called a prefix menu, not a prefix menu. And my first time out with Danielle, I said, "Oh, let's do the prefix menu." She's like, "The what?"
She leaves. These guys are so Kaiwai.
Yeah, seriously, I'm taking lessons on how to fucking pronounce words from John Regan of all people. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're talking like embarrassing pronunciation stories, I was probably 10 or 11 before I learned it was colonel and not colonel.
That is embarrassing.
I had only seen it written.
And you're no longer welcome at any KFC. You dumb motherfucker.
the Colonel KFC.
I'll take the Colonel special. Get the fuck out of here.
Game 5.
Extra sides. right, guys. So this game contains 54 different categories across 6 degrees of rarity, describing the game's flora and fauna. And this information is shown alongside information regarding biomes, weather, and NPC behavior when landing in a new area. Sounds like the song is over. It's time. Hold on, excuse me. It's time to reveal your answers, but it's also time to thank our requester. Thank you so much for this fan request. The Link Floyd in Discord. Link, excellent request. Superb request. And I've got people ready to show their answers. Johnny says Wario's Woods. He's right. I can't believe it, but this is it. It's Wario's Woods. He did it again, this motherfucker. Johnny's correct. Jesse says Jack Hanna HD collection. The Wild Man. And David says I was vibing to the music and not actually paying attention. I'm so sorry. Unforgivable. No, sadly, only Johnny got this correct. But in a more technical way, the correct answer is, of course, No Man's Sky. Guys, this episode really has been a grand little adventure of an episode that would almost lend, it might make people think that we were like planning the show like on a certain script at times, mentioning that the ultimate wilderness is space, more than once. You know, even in the intro mentioning what's more dangerous wilderness than underwater space. And then even as recently as the last segment, Jesse invoking No Man's Sky as a response to what I would like out of a space exploration game as opposed to just wandering around a beautiful ship. He thinks I would like a procedurally generated goddamn universe. I assure you, we didn't fucking discuss any of this. And yet also somehow we came up with 2 Wario games for the show. This is a weird episode we got here, guys.
Shut up. You're tipping our hand.
Oh, we planned it so perfectly. We said we wanted wild first-person games, which got us 2 Wario games and a couple of space games, and also dinosaurs that breathe fire, T-Rex with arms. It's pretty great. But yeah, man, No Man's Sky. You know, I could say with more than 100% certainty that Johnny and David never went anywhere near this. Jesse, did this show up on Game Pass at some point? Have you dipped your toe into No Man's Sky?
Well, yes, but I was on board with this game since it was announced. I remember them talking about this game and reading all about it, and there was like at the time like 3 dudes making this game, or it was very little amount of people. And hearing the stuff that they were gonna do, it was like, if they can pull this off, this is gonna be like every like Star Trek like sci-fi nerds like wet dream.
Yeah, it's
and
insane.
like when it came out, people were pissed because it wasn't like they didn't have everything he mentioned that he wanted to be in the game.
Right.
And like I thought it was fine like back then. Like I was like, this is cool. You're going to different planets, you're scanning new creatures and they're all looking fucked up and you get to name them. And so if someone somehow finds your planet, they'll be like, oh wow, some guy named this the Dickopotamus. Great.
Okay, I feel like I have not played this game, but I feel like I would have played it had there been something called the Dickopotamus.
Well, I'm sure
now
someone
you've piqued my interest.
So that's the beauty of it, David. So, you know, one of the things that initially fucking pissed people off about this game is that they said there was going to be multiplayer, and then it took them a while to implement it. But yes, you know, so Jesse, is everything in this game all contained like within one universe? Like, can you find a planet and then later on I find it and I find your dumb name for it? Is that what it is?
That could happen.
Okay.
But
see, I love the infinitesimally small possibility of that happening. You know, because like the math connected to this game and like just the idea of this game, it boggles the mind.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's
I
like,
don't
how did a small team of developers ever promise that they were going to get something like this done? And then, you know, of course, the hype got away from them, and people were pissed when this launched, and it wasn't everything they expected. And then, from what I've heard, in the years following the immediate launch of the game, they've added more features, and they've made the game better, and now the game is.
It's more than what he like.
Right, exactly. It's way more than what was initially promised, and it's kind of it's redeemed. Like this really is just a case of like, hey, don't overpromise on day one, and you know, then you know, maybe underpromise and then overdeliver, or don't overdeliver because this game is insane in how ambitious it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. So, David, are you aware of exactly? Not actually, I could say exactly because there is an exact number of possible planets within the No Man's Sky universe.
I believe it's something like 56 unique biomes.
56 unique biomes, yes, but there's also other factors to. Sorry, it's not 56 unique biomes. 54 categories of rarity of flora and fauna, but then there's also the overall biome of the planet. There's the weather, there's the whether or not the NPCs, or if there are even NPCs on the planet, whether or not they're hostile. Are you
Okay.
aware of just how many possible, planets there are in this game?
Okay, so based on the like 54 unique whatnot, and including different combinations of other factors like natives and hostility, as well as just like types of planet, I'm going to say the number is 6.
Yes. That's the thing. So No Man's Sky contains 6 unique planets. And
Which is why people were so disappointed.
yeah, they
They
promised
just added a 7th one.
they promised a whole universe and they only did 6 planets. It was crazy, man. That fucking dickhole Sean Murray just made it sound like he had some idea. Never got there.
They were gonna have 7, but then they decided Pluto wasn't a planet, so it was just 6.
Exactly.
What I like about this is it's supposed to be procedurally generated, so do you just keep visiting the same 6 planets again and again? Like,
see, that's the thing. I haven't played the game, so I don't know. But apparently the number of possible planets, given all the different factors in this game and the procedural generation thing they've got going on, if you'll excuse me to clear my throat, the number of planet seeds in this game, 18 quintillion, 446 quadrillion, 744 trillion, 73 billion, 709 million, 551,616.
So I was close.
You were in the ballpark.
What's even crazier is like the file size of this game isn't that big.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like, I'm like, how many factors are really going into these things? If you're generating 18 quintillion planets, what are we basing that on? Like, is there just one rock out of place in each planet? Like,
I got a question. What the hell is a quintillion?
That's a very good question, Johnny.
It's a lot.
It's 1,000 quadrillion is what it is.
Okay, so next question.
A lot.
The
I
fuck
guess
is
I see where this
quadrillion?
is going.
Quadrillion's 1,000 trillion.
Okay, now we're talking my language. I know trillion.
Do you?
You've seen a trillion.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Explain to me what a trillion of something is.
It's 1,000 billions.
That's right. An infinitely impossible to really fathom number. But yeah, so apparently there's a possible 18 quintillion planets in this game. And so yes, Jesse and I can start playing this game and we can go out there and discover new worlds and call them, fucking like super dick butt world. And then maybe by some insane stroke of luck, someone else can discover them. Like, is Jesse, do you have any idea? Is there any system in place to which you can discover something and I can actually get an exact coordinate and go visit it?
Well, they do have hubs. There's this weird, I forget how to describe. It's like a diamond looking alien technology that you fly into, and
It's the Plumbot from The Sims, isn't it?
Yeah. And
God
you connect with other players there, and you can go do multiplayer missions and
okay, so you can
adventure and stuff with other people.
But just left to your own devices, explore the world or explore the universe of 18 quintillion planets. It's possible that I just happen to stumble across somebody else's planet they discovered.
It's
But even considering these numbers,
it could happen. It could happen.
Infinitesimally small.
Yeah, but it could happen.
It's possible in the sense that you can win the lottery.
Yeah.
I think your odds of winning the lottery are actually significantly better.
Yeah, it seems like actually my odds of winning the lottery are way better than actually experiencing No Man's Sky multiplayer. But yeah, it's hard to fathom just how huge the game is. And that is all to say, this game was fucking daunting, and I never fucking played this. It's like, you heard about this. It's like, okay, well, even when they kind of overpromised and underdelivered, it's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking pick that up and play it. Like, what am I just gonna explore a fucking universe? No, that's insane. There's too much. It's too big. It hurts my brain to think about these fucking games.
Could you imagine if they said that during the space race? It's too big. It's too
Fuck
much.
it.
We're
I
not
ain't
doing
got
it.
$60 on this. I'm not paying any amount of money to go out there.
We're not going
Let
to
the
moon.
Russians have it. God damn.
Yeah. Yuri, it's all yours, buddy. Yuri Man Sky. Yeah. You can fucking have it. But yeah, it's no, honestly, I mean the game seems fucking immense. And like I'm curious, like, is there can you even call it a game if you're just exploring an endless fucking universe?
Well, there's quests and stuff you
there's-
can do. Like, there's like a big main quest line you can follow, and to
Okay.
find out like why this weird technology exists, and why do like
I was going to say, I
aliens look
assume it's all
funny
about
and stuff.
exploring worlds and harvesting things and probably working towards some goal, but it's still just like, I don't know, man. What if I shoot off in the wrong direction and I end up in some fucking crazy ass planet? What if I just get lost in like a corner of the universe of these impossible to conceive number of places to go? What if I just end up in the corner that's all bullshit? What if I end up in like the bullshit galaxy?
John, you say, what if I end up with some crazy ass planet? Like, that's a bad thing. I would love to wind up on a crazy
That's the
ass
point.
planet.
Yes, you're right.
I'm just imagining, like, could you think about all the different adventures and characters that you would meet if you wound up lost in space? Like, I feel like there's a
Boo.
TV show there.
Or,
I hate
hear me out, a movie.
Oh, no,
Starring
there's
Matt LeBlanc.
No, I don't know about the movie.
I've
a
always
TV show instead.
Gary Oldman monster.
And Heather Graham.
Oh,
And Lacey
no.
Chabert.
And William Hurt, R.I.P. Big Hurt.
There's no kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, like, it's like, this game seems wild and crazy and like an incredibly ambitious thing for somebody to try to pull off. And it sounds like they finally, after several years of kind of tweaking it and adding things to it, have made it more of what people would consider like a desirable game to play. But even back in just its like early stages, I'm like, oh no. Like I barely wanted to play Skyrim when it would just have like an NPC walk up to you and be like, hey, actually I have one more thing for you to do. Can you go to this place and find something? Like, like Skyrim and Fallout 4 have like endless quests because people just keep walking up to you and asking for things. What if there were 18 quintillion different people walking up to you and asking for things? I can't process the possibility of like diving into this game, and that's the thing. It's just like it's too much. Like there, and it betrays the whole premise of the game for there to really even be like a direction, or for there to be like even 100 shared worlds that we all know about that the missions take place on, because the point is to explore and find things. So like, it's a tough game to even wrap my head around, and that's why I never played it. Like, just no.
Probably no John Sky.
I simply don't have the galaxy brain. I'm I'm a basic bitch. I'll stick with my fighting games and my fucking shitty little games that I play. No procedurally generated endless fucking universe for me.
Oh, man. Okay, John, hear me out. Tekken with 18 quintillion procedurally generated fighters.
No, see, here's the
What?
Have you ever played a Tekken? That's
I thought
pretty
you were
much
gonna go with
like
stages,
the basic
but-
move list of everyone. Everyone has like 18 quintillion moves.
Yeah, Johnny, what are you trying to pull here? Like, there's a lot of moves.
There's
in
too
the
many
game.
endings.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine all the endings? How many of them have the devil gene at that point?
How many volcanoes is Hayachi dumping his kids in?
It's so hard to explore these volcanoes.
This one where a volcano is dumping his kid into Hayachi.
God. Yeah, no, man.
There's the ending where the volcano is just Wario's ass.
Right. So yeah, man. No, Johnny, I'm sorry. I can't conceive of a fighting game in which you have to choose between 18 quintillion characters. How large would the character select screen be? I mean, how would you even see the differences in people?
If you hit random, it just melts your game.
Right, exactly. How many people are fighting at once?
You start the arcade mode where you have to fight all the other fighters. It just flashes messages like, "You will never finish this."
Yeah, no, you've made a mistake. It's a great value for 1 quarter, but you've made a serious mistake. There's a big difficulty spike around, 8 billion.
Imagine the same quarter being played across generations of people trying to beat this game.
Somebody just has to be there to hit continue. But yeah, no. I mean, this thing, it's tough for me to even wrap my head around a game like No Man's Sky. And so talking about it, I feel like we're not doing it much of a service. But at the same time, we're just, this is us talking about it on one of many planets, many planes of existence, many realities. Somewhere out there in those 18, quadrillion fucking planets.
Quintillion.
There's, quintillion, not quadrillion. Well, fuck me.
Order of magnitude, man.
Yeah, so bitch ass. So just out there's a Game That Tune podcast where we all played it and we all discovered all the worlds. And I hate listening to that podcast. I'd rather listen to us.
So just for my own curiosity, I imagined a fighting game with 18 quintillion characters. If every match was 1 second, it would take you 584 billion years to play through.
Okay. And then the endings.
How long is the universe supposed to last?
I'll get on that right after I finish One Piece.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah. So it's great that these guys made a game that can be played until the end of literal existence. But, I think I'm just going to stick with more finite games. It's difficult for me to fathom this game. But, it's got a kind of fun soundtrack. It's got it's got some some cool ambience and then some cool kind of fucking noise to it. That's the other thing. Really listening to the soundtrack to get ready for the show. I'm like, now listen, if I'm traveling all over this goddamn procedurally generated universe, I don't want to listen to fucking insane noise. Mellow out a little bit, guys. Why the fuck is this music so intense? It's goddamn empty ass galaxy. Where is this noise coming from? Chill out. That's me to you, whoever 65 Days of Static is. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you your soundtrack. It could chill out just a little bit. But yeah, this game impossible to talk about, and therefore, I would say maybe we feed the game into the calculating computer and see if maybe she can play it faster than we are. Is the calculating computer an AI? Have we taught the calculating computer to play the games that we either can't or don't want to play?
No.
Yeah, I looked into it, and unfortunately, for the computer to simulate playing 18 quintillion planets in our lifetime, I think we have to invent quantum computing. And I don't think, and guys, I'm pretty good, but I'm not quantum good.
So what's the gap between making a new GIF appear on GTT radio and quantum computing that could make the calculated computer actually play the games for us?
I think it's about the same as the difference between a quadrillion and a quintillion, which is about a quintillion.
Okay. So we're not quite there, is what you're saying.
No.
Damn. Well, Johnny, then I say continue the research. And maybe hopefully we drive those Patreon subscriptions. And maybe, we just accept that No Man's Sky is outrageous and insane. And real quick, before we go to the calculator computer, it's also funny that a game in which the algorithm that generates the planets generated 18 quintillion planets, somehow gamers were still disappointed when the game launched. Hey, now hold on. You said there would be all this stuff. What about multiplayer? It's like there's 18 quintillion planets for you to explore. You could play this game until like the fucking universe folds in on itself like 1,000 tiny sheets forming one knife.
Yeah, but I want to wave at my friend.
Exactly. Yeah, we've all seen the time knife, but I'd like to see my friend's name displayed when I play No Man's Sky. Like, it's fascinating that this game was capable of disappointing anybody, but truly never underestimate the ability of people that play video games to get shitty about something.
Capital G gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Calculating computer activated. Computers, beeps,
Oh, sorry, I was checking up on the chat. What was that?
boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Regan.
Wow.
Hey!
As likely as finding the same planet in No Man's Sky as your friend that is also playing it. Johnny has won tonight's episode of Game That Tune. Fantastic, Johnny. Well
A
done.
true man of the wilderness.
Yes, exactly. The wild man, John Regan. We call him, Mr. Stilts. This Johnny Stingray.
First person Regan.
Mm-hmm. No man's Johnny. Johnny Woods. No, there's no Wario puns to be made with Johnny. Johnny's too clean to be Wario. Man, Johnny.
Am I?
I figure with that much body hair, you kind of have to learn cleanliness.
Yeah.
At a really early age. Wario, actually, we could briefly unpack this a little bit. We never really see Wario.
Naked.
With any, lesser clothing on. Like, is Wario a really hairy guy?
In the Mario and Sonic Olympic games, you can see him in like swimwear, and he's pretty bare chested.
Now, do you think that's because it's swimming and he shaved all his body hair?
Probably.
Yeah, so that's a swimming variant. But like Wario au natural, do you think he looks like John Regan, or do you think he's he's got a testosterone deficiency and he has no chest hair?
I kind of feel like
He doesn't have a beard.
no.
He shaves those sideburns.
I kind of feel like Wario looks like Austin
penis.
Powers. Like he has a thick amount of chest hair in like one area, and then he's pretty clear everywhere else.
Okay, that's possible. Anyway, Johnny, you are not the Wario of the show. You're the John Regan of the show. Don't try to be the Wario of the show. Don't try to be the next Wario. Try to be the first John Regan. And you've been accomplishing that on this show for years.
Isn't your father the
Or
first John
possibly
Regan?
the second John Regan.
No, the first John Regan.
I've been
he was-
solidly not Warioing for so long. I am very good at not farting into the microphone,
Thank God.
which I feel like is what Wario would do.
You are the first John Regan of Game That Tune. Your father has been on the show. He's the second one. That's the only way I can redeem that. But also, Johnny, you can redeem it right now by picking a theme for next week's episode.
Oh man. Okay.
There were so many ways to be inspired on this episode by, it's like last week how Jesse picked a game and I thought first person wilderness. If you're thinking Space Wario, then this is a great episode to be inspired by.
Well, I originally had an idea. I was thinking, what about Sega Genesis games and not Sega Genesis games?
See, no, we're doing that.
And I specifically mean either it's a Sega Genesis exclusive or it did not come out on Sega Genesis at all. So you cannot pick a Super Nintendo game that also came out on Sega Genesis. But that's still basically just a free play. So I was thinking also about, we had the first person wilderness. So I thought about third person sterile games, but third person, base of the laboratory or a void, kind of environment.
Games take place in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Free play might just be the winner.
So I'm gonna say third person games or games in sterile environments. That's the thing.
Oh. Well, I see what kind of request.
What a great redemption of me.
Man, I can't wait to pick Lovecraft Adventures in the Void.
Mm-hmm. Man. Fucking Iron Lung the game. It's gonna be really great. So cool. Johnny's picked games taking place third person and or games
in sterile environments.
It's I'm not cool with this, but it'll be fine. We'll make it happen because guess what? It's gonna be mostly third person games. So great pick, Johnny. Can't wait to sterilize ourselves and also play some third person games next week. It's gonna be good. So wowee, Johnny, what a pick. And what a show. What a fantastic show it's been tonight. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, watching live with us. We are live every Wednesday night. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. If you love us, we're always there on Wednesday nights making this podcast. We're in podcast form on Tuesday mornings. Our podcasts are available at GameThatTune.com or anywhere that you get your podcasts. We love you guys listening to Game That Tune in podcast form. Rate and review and subscribe and all the things that people do to a podcast. You guys keep doing it to Game That Tune, and we love you for it, baby. Thank you to everybody checking out Patreon. Patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for awesome exclusives. We've got Game That Tune Gems. We just published a new episode all about the January releases, January 1993, 2003, 2013. Crazy mix of video game music from 30, 20, and 10 years ago. That's Game That Tune Gems. We've got mixtapes. We've got movie commentaries. We've got all kinds of fun things going on at Patreon. And you help us keep the lights on at our 24/7 video game music live stream. That's radio.gamethattune.com, gtt.rocks. It's the home for video game music on the internet, provided to you by us, and we love giving it to you guys. So we thank everybody for checking out Patreon, supporting the show. Want to give a special shout out to our absurd fans on Patreon. Of course, I'm talking about Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Y, Sam L, Grimmery, Phoenix Tier 2121, and Beast Pond. A fantastic group of Patreon absurd fans that we've got there. Our request tonight came to us via Discord. Discord is a fantastic place to make your requests. Check out GameThatTune.com for a Discord link and all our other links to all our little various things that we've got going all over the place. You can also make your requests at GameThatTune.club. And we want to give another shout out to our requester tonight. Of course, it was the Link Floyd. Thank you so much, Link, for that request via our Discord server. And that's going to do it. Guys, what a show it's been. Johnny.
Oh, wait. We got a voicemail in during the show.
Son of a bitch. We also got a voicemail in during the show. I wonder who it could be from. Who took a bathroom break during the show?
I was peeing.
What's more terrifying than a stingray on stilts? 2 stingrays on stilts.
God damn it. You son of a bitch.
How did you not recognize Jesse's phone number on the fucking voicemail?
All right, so taking us out, my bonus tunes. I found this awesome remix of Hydrocity Zone or Hydrocity Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 by a YouTuber named YouTuber named John Tay. He seems to be pretty good at this. He's doing remixes with the actual Sega Genesis sound chip, the YM2612.
Well, that's a fantastic remix that we've got coming for you guys. And peace out, everybody. Good. Wario's Woods is copyright 1994 Nintendo Company Limited. Turok Dinosaur Hunter is copyright 1997 Acclaim Entertainment. Wario Land 2 is copyright 1998 Nintendo Company Limited. Hard Space Shipbreaker is copyright 2022 Blackbird Interactive. No Man's Sky is copyright 2016 Hello Games Limited.